Okay, so if we got anybody here from the Southern Ohio High School Bass Circuit, guys, please come around. We got anybody here? Gabe and Colson's over there right now. So we're going to have one guy come up, one of our new teams this year. We're going to have Jason Smith come up. He is from Vinton County. So this is your freshman season, is it not, Jason?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. So what do you think? Just give us a quick recap.
I love it. It's great. It's just I have no words to explain it. It's awesome. I quit baseball just because of this, and baseball was my number one sport and everything. And once this hit, I'm like, yep, I'm going to this sport because fishing is all I live for and it's all I want to do. And one day, hopefully, I'll be winning the Bassmaster Classic or something. Not with the fish though I got today, but one day.
Well, listen, everybody has got to start somewhere. We're glad to have you. We're hopeful to get some more teams from Vinton County in. So who would you like to thank? Who were your big sponsors and who helped you guys get this started this year?
Well, first off, I want to thank my boat captain, Nathan Wallace. If it wasn't for him, I don't know where I'd be. And then second, I want to thank my family and then sponsors. All my sponsors, thank you very much. Mitzi Lou's, Soar, Garrett Ridge Turkey Call, Sites Trucking, Vinton County National Bank, Carderas Funeral Home, everybody that's been in this. We've had 28 or 30 sponsors do this year. And next year we're looking for some more sponsors and some more teams. So if anyone's interested, just contact me or Nathan Wallace and fish with us next year.
Well, that's what our circuit's all about. We're really trying to grow the circuit to see how big we can get it, to give kids a lot of opportunities like yourself to have the chance to be able to go out and fish. So you think maybe on your way to Bassmaster Classic, you might try to go to college and fish a little bit?
That's my goal. I'd like to go to Rio Grande. I mean, that, Murray State, Ohio State, all them colleges that have teams. That's my ultimate goal. My second goal was to win high school for nationals for high school and then state for high school.
So what did you end up doing today?
Well, it was we had 4 fish that was under, and then we had 1 that was over, and that was the one I weighed in, and I threw around a 3.3-inch saucy swimmer, and then I threw around one of my spinner baits that I made, and bluegill collar.
Awesome. All right. Well, we want to thank you, sir, for coming out and being part of our circuit this year. We're looking forward to having you back next year and maybe some other teams from Vinton County. All right. So we're going to take a quick look here. These are unofficial standings right now as to how we finished in our circuit right here. I do want the opportunity to go back and double check. I will be posting those later on. I want to give a shout out to Stellar Films for being able to broadcast this for us. It's been horrible conditions, not only to fish, but definitely to broadcast. We want to thank the Jackson City School Board of Education, Mr. Phil Howard. We want to thank Mr. Schwackhammer, Mr. Wooten, and Mr. Waylon Massey for all that they've done for our program and helping us get this started. This is our 3rd year. We had about 20 teams in our circuit this year, and if you guys are out there and you've seen this weigh in and you want to get in high school fishing, if next year you're going to be between grades 9 and 12 and you want to join our circuit, we are in the southern half of the state. Go ahead and look us up, JHS Bass Team, on Facebook and Instagram, and a new one I just made, Facegram. But we're going to go ahead and call up a few more people here in just a second. I'm going to go ahead and read off kind of where we had people finish today. So this is not the state results. This is just within our circuit. So Gabe Taylor and Cosin Oyer got 1st place, 4th overall. Let's go ahead and have those guys come over here if they got a second. So it was a great honor to coach you guys the last 3 years. To see you coming out from sophomores that weighed in 1 fish all year to now, you've probably got something right there in your hands that might be a little bit more exciting than your high school diploma. And that is your national championship ticket. And I know that that was your guys' goal at the beginning of this year, was to be able to do that. And I haven't got the points figured up, so I don't know where you guys fell in our points, but you guys got the automatic berth, Gabe, so let's hear about it.
You know, we came up, you know, and we were real nervous. This whole year we were nervous. You know, we only fished basically one tournament, and, you know, we did good, and then the second tournament we did really bad, and it shot us way down. We was really worried about qualifying this year. It's our senior year, and we wanted to go out with a bang. You know, obviously, you know, we signed for Rio Grande, you know, for fishing, but it's just not the same. You know, it's our last high school, you know, qualifying tournament, you know, and we've seen it happen. We've been here for 3 years, you know. It's been a real honor to be a part of your team, Coach, and to fish with everyone on our team. You know, it's more than just, you know, just friends. It's a family. You know, we're a whole team, and it's a blessing, and it's just a blessing.
So let's go ahead and just remember, you always got to give some sponsors some credit here. So let's give some sponsors some credit.
I want to thank Sean Taylor Trucking LLC. I also want to thank you, Hire. Also want to thank Mock Baits and Strike King, Geiger Brothers, and Malone's Marine.
All right, so Colson, he probably read right off the front of my jersey, so it's going to be a little bit harder for you. But let's hear how this season went for you and where you were at.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster. I mean, like you said, we started out one fish our entire year, the first year we went in, and if you'd asked me then that we'd be national championship qualifiers our senior year, I wouldn't even believed it. Like, I didn't even get into bass fishing until I was a sophomore when we joined the team. And just to see how much we've grown, how much time we've put into the sport to make ourselves better, and not only that, but coaching and being part of the team. It just being, like Gabe said, a family, and just learning from each other, feeding off each other, and learning intel from everybody. And not to mention all the sponsors that we have that are just so generous in helping us be out there on the water, and our boat captains who sacrifice hours and lots of money just to help us out and to be with us on the water.
All right, so I'm going to help you out a little bit here. Can you name some other sponsors?
Oh, yeah, I'd like to thank Rock Church, State Farm, Kettle Corn Craze, Warriors for Christ, Clark's Law Office, and Buckeye Tire and Exhaust.
All right, well, it's been a great honor to be able to coach you guys these 3 years, watch you grow, and we got one more ride out to Oklahoma. Woo! All right. Woo! So congratulations. All right, second, I don't think they're with us here today. Gabe and Colson weighed in 10 pounds, 3 ounces, and second in our circuit was Trevin Hill and Hayden McKenzie at 8 pounds and 9 ounces. And then we got Cohen Oyer and Michael Stevens, who came in third with 8 pounds and 5 ounces today. All right, so looks pretty good for you guys for the qualifying. Looks like we might have more than one set of Oyer teams going over there. So let's hear about your day today, Cohen.
Yeah, the wind really messed us up. All our spots were on the west side. Well, most of them anyway. And so that wind kind of messed it up. So we had to go a different direction, fish the east side of the lake, which it's still great spots. It was pretty slow with that wind. Again, it was pretty hard to fish, but we ended up having a couple nice fish. We called right over here in this bank about 5 times, so it helped us out a lot.
So what were you catching your fish on today?
Everyone on a Zoom Smoky Shad 5-inch fluke, weightless.
All right, and who would you like to thank for this opportunity to fish?
First and foremost, I'd like to thank the Lord for keeping us safe, letting us have a great day out here. I'd also like to thank Warriors for Christ Ministries.
All right, now, you were able to make adjustments on the fly, and I have to say, this guy right here has been in my room in the morning studying maps, putting in the prep work, and doing all the practice. So I got a question. You think all that time was worth it?
Yes, it was.
All right, so Michael, let's hear about your day. How did things go for you?
Like he said, the morning started off pretty rough. We ran across the lake, and it was real beat up and windy, so we couldn't really fish. But then we had better luck down here. We first started off on the left side over here by the docks, and we caught about 3 or 4 fish, and we had an all right bag. So we kept on moving and beating that bank for a good while, and then we moved over here, and that's when we started calling fish out. I think I had 1 keeper, and Cohen had 4. And in total, we had around 20-something fish. So we had a pretty good day out in the lake today.
So who else would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank Iron City Pipe and our boat captains, Aaron and Stewie.
Captain Stewie made a lot of adjustments today to help you guys out, and I heard that you guys made an adjustment on, like, you guys had been catching them in practice in, 3 to 5 feet of water, so what did you guys do today?
Well, today we pushed up on the bank over here. There's weeds that are about a couple feet off the bank, and it's in about 8 or 9 feet of water where the weeds in. So we're fishing the edge of these weeds, and we pulled out some pretty good fish from that.
All right, so thank you guys. Looks good for you. We'll have the standings out a little bit here later. All right, next up is going to be Brady Daly and Wes Clegg, who were our record setters not only once this year, but twice, and you guys still hold the biggest bag right now. All right, you guys ended up, looks like you guys ended up in 4th place today. You had, 7 pounds and 10 ounces. So that pretty much secures you, I think, as the top seed here on our circuit. So what does that mean, Brady?
Means we got to go to Nationals in Oklahoma.
So you guys are going to OK too. All right. So tell us about today. How'd it go?
Well, I caught one keeper here early, and we went dry for a while, didn't catch anything. We ended up moving to another spot, and we kind of caught fire a little bit there.
So what were you catching those fish on? Like what depth range and what baits were you throwing?
We were probably about 7 to 10 feet, throwing beaver baits, a few Cincos here and there.
So who would you like to thank for making the day possible?
Well, I want to thank Zoom for helping with those baits and catching those fish. And I'd like to thank Steve Evans Sausage and Brian Dixon, too. And also our boat captain for helping us get out there today.
And who was your boat captain?
Bob Grimes.
Bob Grimes. All right. Let's go ahead and step over here. All right, so what'd you see today?
We saw a lot of grass. We had to adjust to it. You know, we didn't get to come down here and pre-fish, so we had to kind of work our way and figure out what we were doing. And we did see a lot of grass, so we casted and we just adjusted to it with our different baits, and we finally found them.
So how many fish do you guys think you caught altogether today?
We were talking about it on the boat earlier. I think we caught around either between 10 and 13.
10 and 13. So you guys got some of the right ones. You guys been consistent all year with 5 fish limits. So that's really helped you guys out. Now, I did mention last year's record was like 903. So you guys crushed it pretty good. Do you remember what you got the first record with?
Was it 1104?
1125. So now, here's the real question. That was the first time you broke the school record in the first tournament of this year. Then we went to Rocky Fork, and we had the second tournament of this year. And you guys remember what you got there?
14-something.
14-4.
14-4.
And you guys got a berth going here to the national championship through our circuit. So it looks really good for that. So we're going out to Grand Lake, and I got some great news for you. You know what is not in Grand Lake?
What? Grass?
Grass. No grass. And anybody fished this tournament today would be very happy. I know all the other national championship qualifiers, the top 4 that fished here today that won. A great bag of 14-4 by Landon Groff and Sloan McGee. And then we had a 10-6, Hoyt Nicely and Connor Bowen. Christian Bobo and Simon Indabode had 10-4. And then we already said Gabe Taylor and Cosin Oyer had 10-3 to round out that. And the top 5, just right behind them, was Jacob Nielsen and Gage Love. So a great day here. I think that's about everybody we got that's left here to talk to, because, man, it is cold. That wind has blown all day long. But again, we want to thank all our sponsors. I will be posting here shortly once we get all the numbers tallied and double checked to make sure who our top qualifiers are. And then it'll be a couple days before I can post if we had any double qualification, because if we have anybody else that got bumped down, sometimes they go a little bit lower in the point standings, and we'll just have to see what happens to get the automatic state burst. Because with Trevin Hill, let's see, that's 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Down to 9th, I don't know if anybody else double qualified ahead of them. There's a chance that they might be able to get a national championship berth through the state qualifications. But it has been a great year so far. Good news is we do have some teams qualified for the national championship. We got some other teams going out to fish the world finals. So I'm going to go ahead and run down through our list right now. we made it down to Wes and Brady. They ended up 4th here today on our circuit. Eli Myers and Carson Carver from Northwest ended up 5th with 7 pounds, 8 ounces. Brady Kearns and Grant Regal from Jackson ended up at 7-7. So they ended up 6th. Grady Dunn and Caleb Lovett ended up in 7th place with 7 pounds and 4 ounces. And due to the tiebreaker of having one more fish, they stayed ahead of 8th place Olivia Stacy. And there is Olivia Stacy right there. Come on over, Olivia. You had a pretty good day today, staying here on my right side. So it was a little rough in the beginning, but let's hear about your day.
It started out pretty cloudy, and we were fishing grass. It was real slow. I hit one. We got our first keeper, and then the wind started, and it did not stop for an hour or two. And that we caught one fish right after that, but a four fish bag isn't bad for what we had out there today. So
now you've caught a lot of 4-pounders in your career, and you caught one here today. So tell us about that fish catch. What were you throwing? What kind of stuff were you looking at?
So all the fish before that we had caught off grass in about 7 foot of water, and we were trying stuff because we hadn't hit anything. So I was throwing a Texas rig, yum dinger, up against the bank, and I went right up against a tree, and out of nowhere I caught the 4-pounder. So I'm happy with it.
It's a great fish catch. Who would you like to thank today for being a sponsor?
I would like to thank Brian Moore Construction.
All righty. So we want to thank everybody here for coming out. Do you have any plans on maybe trying to go to Oklahoma and fish the World Finals?
I'm looking into it, but I would love if I was able. So I'm going to try.
Okay, so I don't see anybody else we haven't talked to yet. Just want to thank you again. June 21st through the 28th, we're going to go out and be in Oklahoma. We will be telecasting, I think, about the 24th is when the first day the tournament starts. And so we will be out there. Stellar Films is going to come out, I believe. Is that true? You guys coming out? Try? Okay, so they're going to try. Hopefully they'll be out there and we'll be able to do some live broadcasts out from it. We just want to thank you guys for being with us all year. We appreciate it. And again, if you guys are a high school team or you're going to be going into your freshman year and you want to start fishing and you're in the Southern Ohio area, go ahead and look us up. But thank you guys, and I think we're out for now.
Information page, Benton County.